This presentation will explore some of the most important aspects of the British culture. The first, we looked at the traditional British food, and this is the part of my partner.
Hello, my name is Sam. Today I'm going to be talking about traditional British food. I think this is one of the most important topics of this matter because actually you can learn a lot of culture and history about the food that people eat. For example, the first one and the most common one that almost everyone knows is like fish and chips, and that's like what everyone knows about British culture.
Uh, and next, this presentation is me. I want to speak the British the music icons, and in this point is the most important of part of the British in the music.
The next one is me. My name is Moises, and I will talking about the British literature. I think this part of British culture is very important because they have had important artists like William Shakespeare.
Is for me is the British holiday and traditions. Overall, British holiday and the tradition revolve on the strongly history and the community are connected in the UK. Celebrating such as Christmas Bonfire Night and Remembrance Day shows no respect for the past while bringing people together in the present. This tradition helps create a shared sense of identity, identify belonging among British people.
And finally, I am Gabriel, and I am talking about the British legends and the folklore. As the one of the most legends is the King Arthur, the king hopefully of this war from the stone and rolling at Camelot. Another popular story is Robin Hood, the hero who stolen from the rich and gave up the poor. England is also full of the ghost stories, and especially in castles on old towns. These legends are an important part of the English culture and continue to appear in books, films, and TV shows.
Now I'm gonna be talking about specific parts of my topic. The first one, and I'm pretty sure is the most important that everyone knows, like I said, is fish and chips. It became popular in the 19th century during the Industrial Revolution. It was cheap, filling, and easy to eat for workers. So that's what I said when I referred to history involving food, and that was a food that came from need and people that needed to eat food, and that's really important for society to remember their roots and what helped them go through difficult times, like fish and chips. The other one is Sunday roast. It's a name for a lot of cultures that have the same tradition. It's like in USA they call it barbecue, or in Mexico we call it like carne asada, and it's they're referring as they share roasted meat, potatoes, vegetables, gravy. Uh, it's a great opportunity for families and people to bond and have a good experience. And third, and I think the one that has more resemble in Mexican food is the English breakfast that has eggs, bacon, sausage, beans, and toast. Beans is really used in Mexican cuisine, and it's very important for us. So I think that the most weird thing they eat is black pudding. That is blood of an animal, and maybe that's the weirdest for us. But in terms of the eggs, bacon, sausage, and beans, is almost like Mexican breakfast.
Well, I want to talk about of the British music, and this focus is the highlight the importance of the music has the stronger culture and contributions. And the one of the boss is the most in the United Kingdom. The look in the icons is the Beatles and Queens, and we can understand how the British artists have that Shakespeare's entry in musical and genders and introduction of new styles and the change to global the music history. At the same time, the modern singers is like the Adele and Harry Styles and Ed Sheeran, and show that the UK continues to produce the influential talent today. And this means is the British music is not the only part of the country the past, but also the activity that force in the present. And through this point, we explored how the British artist is combining the creativity, emotional, and innovation the making of the UK. The world leader in the music, the impact on this culture is the most important, and it stay in the focus always.
In the Christmas and their other holidays and traditions is their overall British holidays and traditions show how culture, history, and the community come on together to shape everyday life in the UK. Events like Easter, Going to Night, and Remembrance Sunday highlight the importance of honoring the past while in celebration the present. This tradition continue to strengthen national identity and the connection people across generations. In conclusion, British tradition and holidays demonstrate the value placed of the united memory and celebration from Christmas gathering to the changing of the war. Each tradition reflects an UK aspect of British culture. Together, they help preserve the nation heritage and bridge people closer year after year. To sum up, holiday and tradition in the UK reveal how deeply British socially appreciates history and the community spirit. Celebrate like St. Patrick's Day, New Year's Eve, and Remembrance Day, reminding of people of their origins by creating moments of shared joy. This custom keep British culture alive and meaningful in the modern times.
Back to the topic of British literature, it is impossible to start this conversation without mentioning the giant of literature, William Shakespeare. He is known as the greatest playwright in history for a reason. His work, like the tragic Hamlet or the romance of Romeo and Juliet, aren't just plays. They are deep exploration of human nature, jealousy, love, and ambition that still feel relevant over 400 years later. Moving forward in the time, we met Charles Dickens. He was more than just a novelist. He was a social commentator. In powerful books like Oliver Twist or A Christmas Carol, he exposed the harsh realities of poverty and the social problems of Victorian London, forcing his readers to see the world around them. And of course, we can't forget the authors who shaped our more recent literary world. Think of J.K. Rowling, the creator of Harry Potter. She built an entire magical universe that captured the imagination of a whole generation, becoming a global phenomenon. From the stages of the Global Theatre to the magical House of Hogwarts, British literature has shaped storytelling for centuries, and it absolutely continues to inspire readers and writers everywhere.
And finally, in the conclusion of the legends, And the folklore, sorry, I about today, pues today these legends continue to evolve. They appear in modern books, films, and TV shows, reaching a new audience and gaining fresh interpretations. They're going into present into popular culture and not only keeps these stories alive, but also helps shape of the how the people around the world understand the British identify its traditions and mysterious heroic past. Ultimately, folklore remains of the bridge between history and imagination, and reminding us that histories we pass down can define of the culture of powerful and any historical event.
And to top my topic off, I think it's really important to understand that all of these topics that we talk about is really important to the English traditions and especially the food that tells a lot about people and necessities.
And part of me, I wanna talk about the conclusion in the British music is the one the wonderful impact the work from Leonard bands by like and the Beatles, Queens, and the modern artists like Zale, Harry Styles, and Ed Sheeran. Is the British music have a contribution to shape the trends and the reason music the by the history shows how the UK remains the global the is a leader in creativity are in the part in the artists and expression.
In conclusion, British holidays and tradition highlight the strong connection between the country's past and the present. Celebrations like Christmas, Bonfire Night, and Remembrance Day show how the British value history, gratitude, and community. These customs not only preserve important memories, but also bring people together, shaping our shared cultural identity that continues to the unite nation.
And to conclude about the British literature, I can say, like we heard, Shakespeare, Dickens, and J.K. Rowling, they are very important on the history of literature in general. I think everyone has at least heard of some song of Shakespeare or a Harry Potter movie, I don't know. But I think these are not only entertain readers, but also explore emotions, society, and imagination, keeping British literature relevant through the centuries, um, also today.